Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm not much of a speaker, I'll tell you that. But I have a few things to say, and that is, I'm trying to confine myself about investment in this country. We've gone through a process of gradual deindustrialization. And why is it so is primarily because of the hypocrisy that a lot of us have seen firsthand in our public policy and in the process of engagement of the different stakeholders when it comes to finalization of their policies and so on. So what this government has done is it's taken a look at the existing investment laws. We've found that there's a lot of, as everywhere, there's a lot of room for improvement. And the first thing we've done is to look at the industrial laws that govern the promotion of industry in the country. We've got about 5 different competing regimes, regulatory regimes in the country when it comes to industrialization. As a result, it should be no surprise that there is the absence of that cohesion in policy that can be used to promote a central policy in developing the country. We all know we are 200 million people. We all know that 60% is youth. We all know that we have cotton, one of the major cotton producing countries. So, and textile has been the mainstay of our industry. Now, I shared with some of my colleagues soon after I joined that how is it that Bangladesh, which we let go of in 1971, despite the fact that they were majority. They won the elections, and we refused to give them the right to govern. So when they ceded, we said, oh, good riddance to bad rubbish. We were better off without them. Today, unfortunately, facts are very different. Today there are 167 million. We are about 210 million. Today, our exports are about 24 billion, theirs are about 40 billion. Okay? Our GDP per capita is about 1,500, theirs is about 1,700. And all this is despite the fact that we seem to be, or not seem to, we're actually better than them on all the major indices of the World Bank, such as Global Competitive Index, Perception of Corruption Index, and the Ease of Doing Business. So why is it that we do better than them on indices, but fare very poorly when it comes to actual numbers? The answer is very simple. What they did was they looked at their own ground realities and came up with laws that addressed their challenges on the ground. So they came up with these economic zones where the first thing they did was they made an ouster of jurisdiction for most of the laws that are used by government servants to exploit industry while it grows. And we all know that it's not a perfect world, so you all have to sort of, it's not perfect as you grow in a company or as a company grows. So in our case, most of the companies that haven't grown is because they face a very tough resistance from government officials, whether it's the taxman or other parts of the government. So the result of that was that in Bangladesh, if you want to set up a factory today and if there's no space in the zone, they will tell you to go and put up a factory outside the zone and they'll give you a 5% rebate. Much to my surprise, most people don't want that rebate and they want to stay in the zone because it's very easy doing business there. So it's not the cost of business, it's the ease of business that makes businesses flourish, especially when you're talking about labor-intensive businesses. Because regardless of the advancement of technology, there is no technology that allows companies to produce garments with robots on large scale. It just doesn't happen. So the result of that was that, unfortunately I have to admit that on our side, if we were to offer 5% additional rebate, people would be happy to go to Gobi Desert or any desert, regardless of whether we export something or not. So it is because we've lacked that sense of ownership. We have not aligned the enforcement of our policies. There's nothing wrong with our policies. Policies have been generally all right. But the enforcement has been seriously lacking. So the answer is, there's no point reinventing the wheel. It's modern technology. that allows you opportunity to leapfrog all the lessons learned by the rest of the world in achieving your objectives in a fraction of time. And that's exactly what Shabar and I and the rest of us were trying to do. We're trying to sort of put up very simple, basic rules through modern technology that ensure that our taxation system is equitable, that everybody pays, everybody's documented, and everybody pays according to capacity. And on the industry side, the investment has to be geared not towards profit-seeking, dollar-based, guaranteed IRRs that leave very little in the economy, but those that are actually a win-win. I'll give you an example of China. China has an aging population. Labor cost in China is much higher than in Pakistan. Okay, what does this mean? It means, in simple terms, that we can actually, it can actually be a win-win, because they will make higher margins shifting their factories to Pakistan if we allow them the actual incentives that are needed, not just in terms of fiscal incentives, but also in terms of their interfaces with the government. Now, we were to sort of streamline that, to bring it at par with what happens in civilized world. I can assure you that our exports that have remained almost static for over a decade now could see and will hopefully, inshallah, by the grace of Almighty, see a quantum leap, which will, first of all, fix our current account deficit. 2, it will promote employment. 3, it will generate the kind of revenue that will create that fiscal space for the government to spend that money on the development of people in education and health. I think I've taken a bit too much of the time. I thank you all, and thanks again for allowing me the opportunity.